Hello, I'm Brian Johnson, and this is Better Cocktails at Home. We're here in our home bar, Quarter Deck Club, and it's been a long time since we filmed an episode. Actually, over a year, if I recall correctly. I think we filmed a couple episodes in October of 2022. It is now early December of 2023, so yeah, we're trying to get back into it. So I've got a 3-month plan, so hopefully this will be the kind of restart of what we actually started many years ago, around 2012 actually, when we started filming videos. So hopefully this is going to be a good time. We have a little more time now in our schedule and our lives. So I'd love to kind of do more regular videos. So we're going to be doing kind of a theme every month. So this month, I actually want to do kind of drinks that I feel like fit well with the holidays and Christmas. So kind of thinking like darker stuff, some stuff with kind of like nice spices. That just kind of tastes really good and it's kind of rich. And so, yeah, so I want to kind of ease back in with a really simple drink, but actually I think one that's actually really important for people to kind of play with a little bit. So in this episode, we're going to be doing an inverted Manhattan. So inverted Manhattan is just a drink that we swapped the base for the sweet vermouth. So typical Manhattan's about, let's just say 2 ounces of usually a whiskey, bourbon or rye, and then 1 ounce of a sweet vermouth, and then some bitters, right? So it's kind of like 2-to-1 ratio, and then some bitters. So an inverted Manhattan is basically just flop that over. So we're going to use 2 ounces of sweet vermouth, 1 ounce of a rye or bourbon whiskey, and then bitter. So very similar drink, but it's really important to kind of understand for flavor how it works. So we'll make it real quick, and then we'll kind of taste it, see what we think. So with inverted Manhattans, the sweet vermouth you choose actually becomes more important than your typical Manhattans because sweet vermouth, obviously the name implies, it is sweet. So if you get something that's too sweet or really rich, it could kind of throw it off and you're going to have to kind of play with it a little bit. And so like if you're using this, let's say like a Carpano Antica, those are really like viscous, thick, rich sweet vermouth. That might make a drink that's probably a little too like cloying, maybe a little too sweet. So you want to kind of play with it a little bit. So for this one, and why reason I'm making this drink for Christmas with this sweet vermouth, this is a local one, Mastrogiannis sweet vermouth that they make. This one has a ton of cinnamon in it, and it just is a really like kind of rich, spicy sweet vermouth. So it actually fits really well with kind of the theme. So, and they make it very close to where I live. They're in Lakewood, Washington. And so we're going to 2 ounces of this. Pour that in. And then we're going to use, I like a rye whiskey in my Manhattan, so I'm using Rittenhouse here. One of my standard pours. So we'll do 1 ounce of this, right? We're going to invert it. And then for the bitters, I think you have quite a bit of leeway here, right? Angostura obviously is a very popular choice, classic, hard to go wrong. I'm going to use Devil's Reef bitters here. This has to me like a lot of cinnamon, kind of like that, kind of similar to Angostura, but not quite as, it's a little bit different. I really like it though. I think it works well in this drink. So I'm going to do 2 ashes of this. And that's it, right? Manhattan's a very simple drink to make. Not too difficult. So now we're going to add our ice. All right, and now we're going to stir. Now, if you remember why we stir drinks, so most cocktails that are stirred are clear spirits and clear ingredients, right? So these are clear. They're not cloudy like citrus or cream, milks, that kind of thing. So this is a stirred cocktail primarily for appearance, but then also the aeration that a shaken cocktail would provide. Do a nice long stir, because stirring takes longer to chill a cocktail than shaking does actually. There's been some people done some really good studies on kind of the actual numbers on how long it takes, that kind of stuff. Dave Arnold has done some good research on that. So we're just going to believe that he's accurate. He's been doing a good job for a long time. So All right, that should be nice and chilled. And then we're going to take a cocktail glass. I had this one in the freezer, so it's nice and cold. Do a quick strain into there. It should have kind of like a nice silky appearance, right? We didn't shake it, so that's why we get that. And then I like to do just a little lemon peel on it, not a big one. Honestly, I don't even want to cover like just a light expression, not much. Just a little bit of those aromatics can help kind of offset the sweet vermouth aspect of it. But yeah, so that's an inverted Manhattan, right? Very simple. But I think this is really important because it kind of teaches you how these ingredients interact with each other, right? What's the relationship between a whiskey and a sweet vermouth in a Manhattan? And so that's actually why I think an inverted Manhattan is a really important cocktail for beginners to make, right? So like you should be making standard Manhattan and inverted Manhattan right next to each other, and you can kind of compare them, right? See what happens as you change the sweet vermouths, right? This one's got a lot of cinnamon to it, so it fits really well with kind of our winter theme. If you use something like a Coqui vermouth, vermouth de Torino, or like I said, Carpano Antica, you're gonna get wildly different drinks. So you kind of have to play with it a little bit to see what's not too cloying and too sweet, and just kind of see how it goes. So, but yeah, I like these kind of you get those flavors, but it's just a very different experience. So that's why it's fun to kind of play around with things, flip things on their head, make them inverted. Yeah, so I hope you try it. Let me know what you think about it. But that's the inverted Manhattan, and we're going to see you on the next episode.